ground, Qatar 112 requesting pushback.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board Qatar Airways. As you find your seat, we ask that you place larger items in the overhead compartments and lighter sized belongings, including duty-free bags and liquids, under the seat in front of you. Our cabin crew are available to assist. Thank you. Crew, all customers on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all of our customers aboard now. Please do keep your seatbelt fastened at all times, even if we have the seatbelt sign switched off. I'll speak to you again prior to our descent. I'll update you on the arrival time and the weather. In the meantime, please make yourself comfortable and welcome aboard.
Ground staff, as the aircraft is now ready for departure, may request all ground personnel to please kindly disembark the aircraft. Also requesting all customers to please take their assigned seats now in preparation of closing of last doors for departure. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am your cabin senior. On behalf of Qatar Airways, the One World Alliance, and the rest of the cabin crew team, it is my pleasure to welcome you on board Qatar Airways. We would like to extend a special welcome to our privileged club members and also to members of One World Frequent Flyer program traveling with us today. Customers interested in joining our award-winning program may enroll online by visiting the website www.qmiles.com. This aircraft is equipped with the Oryx One in-flight entertainment system. The onboard connectivity facility will be available shortly after takeoff. Please be informed that smoking and use of electronic cigarettes is not permitted anywhere on board this aircraft. In preparation for departure, we ask that you switch your phones to fly safe mode and ensure that your seatbelt is fastened at this time. We would like to remind you to keep your personal valuables such as wallets, jewelry and electronic devices safe at all times. As we consider your safety to be of the utmost importance, could you please give your attention to the safety video being screened? Please be informed that smoking and use of electronic cigarette is not permitted anywhere on board this aircraft. We would also like to remind you to keep your personal valuables such as wallets, jewelry and electronic devices safe at all times. Thank you for your attention.
سيدتي والسادة، أسعد الله صباحكم بكل خير. من يبدأ الخطوط الجوية القطرية تحالف العالم القطري. نود أن نرحب بحضرات السادة أعضاء نادي الامتياز وتحالف العالم الواحد للأوفياء. النادي الامتياز هو برنامج مكافآت لحضرات المسافرين على مدى الخطوط الجوية القطرية. للاشتراك يوجد الاستفسار من أحد أفراد طاقم الضيافة. كما نود أن نذكر حضراتكم بأن التدخين واستخدام سجائر إلكترونية غير مسموحا به على متن هذه الرحلة. أن سلامتكم على متن الطائرة هي من أهميتنا، لذا نرجو من حضراتكم الانتباه على الشريط الذي سوف يعرض عن السلامة العامة. شكرا.
Cabin crew arm doors for departure and crash check.
Welcome aboard this Qatar Airways flight. Please pay attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. For your comfort and safety, we operate a non-smoking policy on board all our aircraft. Smoking in the toilet will activate a smoke alarm, and tampering with the smoke detector is a criminal offence. The exits and walkways must be kept clear of baggage at all times. Baggage should be securely stowed in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. For safety reasons, with the exception of handheld PEDs in flight mode, the use of electronic devices is not permitted for takeoff and landing. These devices must remain switched off until you are advised by your cabin crew. Please fasten your seatbelt for takeoff and landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. To unfasten, lift the flaps and pull the ends apart. If you plan to sleep during the flight, please make sure your seatbelt is fastened and visible to cabin crew. The cabin environment is carefully controlled. If oxygen is required, masks will appear from above you, or you may be required to release the mask by pulling on the coloured flag marked "Pull." Pulling the mask towards you will activate the oxygen supply. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, adjust the band to secure it, and breathe normally. When your mask is fitted correctly, you may assist others. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing, please adopt a brake position as shown on the screen. Your life jacket is either beside or underneath your seat. When instructed by the crew, remove it from its container and pull it over your head. Bring the tape around your waist and fasten in front, pulling firmly to secure. Only inflate your life jacket when you are leaving the aircraft by pulling the two red toggles sharply downwards. You can also inflate or top up the life jacket by blowing into the mouthpiece. The life jacket has a whistle to attract attention and a light that will automatically illuminate when in water. Infant life jackets will be distributed by the cabin crew. Please take a moment to locate the emergency exit nearest to your seat. The emergency exits are clearly marked and are located as shown on the screen. Escape path lighting will guide you to the emergency exit. In case of emergency landing on water, the evacuation slides will serve as rafts. Please remember to remove footwear before using the slide. To remind yourself of the safety aspects of this aircraft, please read the safety card which is in your seat pocket. And if you have any questions, our cabin crew will be happy to help. To help the cabin crew with final preparations for takeoff, please ensure you're seated in a fully upright position, your window blind is open, your tray table is folded away, and your seatbelt is fastened. Thank you for your attention, and enjoy your flight with Qatar Airways.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please be seated and check to see that your seatbelt is securely fastened.
Bahrain Tower, Qatari 112 tree ready at runway 30 right, departure to the west.
Qatari 112 tree wind tree 17 at Niner. Departure to the west approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 30 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 30 right, Qatari 112 tree. Bahrain Tower, Qatari 112 tree, continue for west departure.
Qatari 112 tree, leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
Bahrain Tower, Qatari 112 tree, frequency change. Bahrain approach Qatari 112 tree is type Airbus A20N 5 miles west of Bahrain 1,100 feet. Request flight following.
Qatari 112 tree, Bahrain approach. Squawk tree 015.
Squawk tree 015, Qatari 112 tree.
Qatari 112 tree, radar contact 5 miles west of Bahrain 1,600 feet. Altimeter tree 0.15.
Roger, Qatari 112 tree.
The captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. For your continued safety, we would like you to keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. Thank you.
Qatari 112 tree, contact Bahrain approach on 127.85. Good day.
Going to 127.85, Qatari 112 tree. Bahrain approach, Qatari 112 tree, 3,200 feet.
Qatari 112 tree, Bahrain approach, altimeter tree 0.15, radar contact, continue. Qatari 112 tree, contact approach on 124.95. Good day.
124.95, Qatari 112 tree. Goodbye. Approach Qatari 112 tree, 3,500 feet.
Qatari 112 tree, approach altimeter tree 0.15, radar contact, continue.
Ladies and
Approach
gentlemen, the
Qatari
seatbelt sign will be
112
turned off shortly. We
Request
recommend,
clearance
however,
to
that you keep
transition
your seatbelt
Charlie
loosely
airspace.
fastened at all times during the flight. If you're
Qatari
using a
112
blanket,
tree
we kindly
approach.
ask that you fasten your
Cleared through the
seatbelt over
Charlie
your
airspace.
blanket so it is visible. We invite you to browse through extravaganza
Cleared
or
through
in-flight
Charlie
duty-free
airspace,
catalog,
Qatari
which is in your
112
seat
tree.
pocket. Our in-flight meal service will come in shortly. Please refer to your personal menu card for more details. If there is anything that we can do to make your flight more comfortable, please feel free to let us know. Thank you.
سيدتي وسادتي، بعد قليل سوف تطفئ إشارة تحزمة المقاعد. سلامتكم، رجاء من حضراتكم قلع الأحزمة مربوطة وظهروا لطاقم الطائرة في حال استخدامكم البطانيات. بعد قليل سوف نقدم لكم وجبة الصباح، كما أنني مع باقي أفراد الطاقم على أتم الاستعداد لتلبية طلباتكم على مدار الرحلة. شكرا. وسادتي، على طفلان هي مبادرة تدعم الخطوط الجوية القطرية وتهدف إلى توفير التعليم الابتدائي للأطفال المحرومين من التعليم الأساسي. يبلغ عدد الأطفال المحرومين من التعليم الابتدائي 58 مليون طفلا حول العالم. يعيش هؤلاء الأطفال في دول تعاني من الفقر والتمييز والنزاعات والكوارث الطبيعية. سنكون شاكرين لكم لو تكرمتم بدعم هذه المبادرة من خلال تبرعاتكم، والتي يمكنكم وضعها في المغلفات المتوفرة في جيوب المقاعد التي أمامكم. سيقوم أحد أفراد الطاقم الضيافة باستلامها منكم. شكرا.
Qatari 112 tree, contact Bahrain Center on 126.7. Good day.
126.7 Qatari 112 tree. Goodbye. Bahrain Center, Qatari 112 tree, 5,700 feet.
Qatari 112 tree, Bahrain Center, altimeter 30.1 for radar contact. Continue. 112 contact Doha approach on 125.125. Good day.
Going to 125.125, Qatari 112 tree. Doha approach, Qatari 112 tree, 6,300 feet.
Qatari 1123 Doha approach altimeter 30.1 for radar contact. Continue.
Gentlemen from the flight deck, the captain speaking. Very shortly beginning our descent. We trust you've enjoyed the flight. Thanks for choosing to fly with us. On behalf of myself and the crew, we'd like to wish you a very pleasant stay and indeed a very safe onward journey. And we'll see you on board again very soon. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we've now commenced our descent, we require that you return to your seat, ensure that your hand baggage is either restowed beneath your seat or in the overhead lockers, your tray table and seat backs are in the upright position, and your seatbelt is securely fastened. Thank you.
بالنظر إلى أننا بدأنا في الهبوط، نطلب منكم أن تعودوا إلى مقاعدكم وتتأكدوا من أن أمتعتكم اليدوية مخزنة إما تحت المقعد وإما في الخزائن العلوية، وأن منضدة الصينية مطوية ومثبتة، وظهر المقعد في وضع قائم، وحزام المقعد مربوط بإحكام. شكرا.
Gentlemen from the flight deck, the captain speaking. Very shortly beginning our descent. We trust you've enjoyed the flight. Thanks for choosing to fly with us. On behalf of myself and the crew, we'd like to wish you a very pleasant stay in or indeed a very safe onward journey. And we'll see you on board again very soon. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we've now commenced our descent, we require that you return to your seat, ensure that your hand baggage is either restowed beneath your seat or in the overhead lockers, your tray table and seat backs are in the upright position, and your seatbelt is securely fastened. Thank you.
بالنظر إلى أننا بدأنا في الهبوط، نطلب منكم أن تعودوا إلى مقاعدكم وتتأكدوا من أن أمتعتكم اليدوية مخزنة إما تحت المقعد وإما في الخزائن العلوية، وأن منضدة الصينية مطوية ومثبتة، وظهر المقعد في وضع قائم، وحزام المقعد مربوط بإحكام. شكرا.
$2,500.
Airbus A20N on final. Wind 037 at 4. Clear to land runway 34 right.
Cleared to land runway 34 right Qatari 112 tree.
Please ensure that you have all your personal belongings with you as you leave the aircraft. Also remember that smoking is only permitted in designated areas. You may now use your mobile and electronic devices if you wish to do so. We hope that you will include Qatar Airways in your future travel plans. To book your next flight, please visit QatarAirways.com. On behalf of Qatar Airways, the One World Alliance, and the rest of the cabin crew team, we wish you a pleasant stay or a safe journey to your final destination. Qatar Airways going places together. Thank you.
سيداتي وسادتي أهلا وسهلا. الرجاء تأكد من أخذ جميع أمتعتكم قبل مغادرة الطائرة. يمكنكم الآن استخدام هاتفكم الجوال إذا كنتم ترغبون بذلك. لا يمكنكم التدخين إلا في الأماكن المخصصة لذلك في المطار. لحجز رحلتك القادمة الرجاء زيارة موقعنا qatarways.com. فنحن نتمنى لكم رحلة آمنة وممتعة خطوط جوية قطرية معنا لكل مكان. شكرا مرتضى نهار.
British Armed Doors for arrival caution.
121.675.
121.675, Qatari 112 tree. Goodbye. Ground Qatari 112 tree taxi to the gate.
Qatari 112 tree taxi to gate Bravo 2 using taxiway Alpha 4 Bravo Alpha tree Echo 1 Delta Echo.
Taxiing to gate Bravo 2 using taxiway Alpha 4 Bravo Alpha tree Echo 1 Delta Echo, Qatari 112 tree.
the boarding requested. Passengers, the boarding starting.